Welcome to this presentation on debt recovery in Nigeria. Understanding the types of debt common here and how creditors and businesses can secure recovery is very important. Whether you are a bank, supplier, or service provider, knowing the debt recovery process in Nigeria is very vital for your business growth. Over the next few minutes, we will cover typical Nigerian debt categories. That's whether it's trade receivables, facility loans, microcredits, or rent areas, which is very common. We'll also take a look at how to approach recovery legally and ethically, and also practical steps you can take in order to be successful in your debt recovery process. My aim is to make the process clear, practical, and relevant for your recovery process anywhere in Nigeria. Let's now move over to the slides for a more interactive session. Okay, we will start the slides by addressing these very important questions before us. What is debt recovery? What does it entail? Debt recovery in Nigeria refers to the process where a creditor seeks to collect money owed by a debtor after standard payment terms have passed. Both the creditor and the debtor have a payment terms, and that terms have passed. So it has now given rise to a debt. So our emphasis today is how can the creditor be able to recover such debt from the debtor. For example, a bank facility not paid can be classified as a debt. A supplier's invoice left unpaid by a Lagos manufacturing firm is also a category of debt. Or a landlord in Abuja who has rent arrears is also a debt. So, and it is something that everyone can relate with, is very common. So unpaid debt affects cash flow. It's not good for business. The cash that is supposed to flow into the business is not there. So it's a big problem that has to be addressed by any creditor. And also employee wages and supplier chains are affected. So it is a very big issue that every creditor must seek out modalities in order to address, so that your business can continue to thrive. And also being proactive, compliant with Nigerian laws, and using the correct channels can make recovery more efficient and less risky for your business. So it's very important that you know exactly the correct channel for you to take in order for you to make the recovery much more easier and less risky for your for the continuity of your business. Okay, let's now take a look at types of debt in Nigeria. Let's have an overview of the types of debt that exist in Nigeria. We have mentioned some of them, but let's take a more critical look at them. In Nigeria, major types of debt includes trade receivables, and this is where a supplier delivers goods to a buyer on credit. It happens. Most big businesses in Lagos supply goods on credit to various businesses across Nigeria, and sometimes in most situations the terms are not followed through, so it gives right to debt, which will now also give rise to the recovery process in order to ensure the continuity of the business. And also facility loans granted by banks and finance houses to companies and individuals are also a category of that. Then lease arrears, especially in commercial real estate markets in Lagos and Nigeria, is also very common. If you go to our courts, you can see that it constitutes more than 70% of cases pending in court, where landlords are seeking for the recovery of their premises for debtors, and also arrears of rent which the tenants have continued to accrue. And also microcredit and consumer debts, such as small-scale loans provided to individuals by microfinance banks and fintech platforms. This is a very relatable situation that has continued to fester in our society, where because of some economic challenges, people go to loan apps, take loans, and most of the time they don't repay. It gives now rise to the app owners to look out for means in order to recover the loans that has been extended to such persons. So each type has unique dynamics and recovery routes in Nigeria's legal environment. So it now beckons on you, the creditor, to know exactly the legal route in order for you to take, in order for you to succeed in your recovery process. Because if you take the wrong, each type has its unique dynamics and recovery routes in Nigeria's legal environment, and the creditor must know exactly the route to take in order to succeed in the debt recovery process. We'll now take a look at secured debt and trade credit in Nigeria. In Nigeria, secured debts often involve a bank taking charge of assets such as manufacturing firm borrowing to buy equipment, and the bank registering a security interest. This is very common in Nigeria, where before a bank extends any loan facility to a company or individual, such individual or company will provide an equipment or property in order to secure such debt. Then trade credit means a supplier, for instance, in Lagos, delivers material with a payment due in 30 or 60 days. And this is very common, just like I have explained earlier. Most big dealers in Lagos, they do extend credit facility to various persons and businesses around Nigeria, and with a promise for them to pay within a specific period of time. And if that is not done, it now gives rise to a situation of debt, which will in turn cause the creditor to put modalities in place in order to recover such debt. Why not always secured by a collateral? Trade creditors can rely on personal guarantees or corporate guarantees in order to ensure that your debt is recovered. So recognizing whether a debt is secured or unsecured is very vital, because recovery options differ under Nigerian law, and it is advisable for you, whenever you want to enter into such a situation that will give rise to debt. It's best for you to have a secured debt, with a collateral, so that recovery will be very much easier. So we have taken a look at a secured debt. Now is for us to now also take a look at unsecured and consumer debt in Nigeria, which is very common. Unsecured debt in Nigeria includes personal loans without asset backing them. That's a credit card balance or fintech loans to individuals. We have various fintech companies that extend personal loans to individuals that are having financial challenges, and in most situations, such individuals find it difficult because of their financial challenge in order to offset such debt or loan that has been extended to them, and it now gives rise to a debt situation where the fintech loan company will have to now put modalities in place in order to recover the debt. And also, utilities arrears are also common. For instance, non-payment of electricity bill to electricity distribution companies, or subscription service fees. And most times individuals use some of these services, and when it's time to pay, it becomes an issue. Especially estimated billing is also a debt, where the discos will now have to make sure that the debt or the services that has been rendered to such individual or corporate organization, the bill is recovered, because it's actually money that was used in order to generate the electricity or any other service that has been extended to the corporate entity or individual. So it beckons on the individual or corporate entity in order to repay such debts. Because there is no collateral, recovery in this situation is more challenging, and in most situations, Nigerian companies must rely on demand letters and agreements, and also they must ensure that consumer protection laws in Nigeria are adequately adhered to, because if you don't adhere to consumer protection laws, you are invariably going outside the dictates of the law, taking the laws into your own hands, and that will in turn turn the situation against you, so that as in that situation, it becomes almost difficult in order for you to recover the debt that is being owed to you. And sometimes litigation is also employed, which is most times not advisable, because the sum that is being owed here is not much. So it's best for you to find a way to negotiate and write demand letters, so that you can be able to get your money back as a disco or any other service provider. And documenting terms and abiding by regulations is very important. That's the Consumer Protection Council. They have already mapped out modality steps that one has to take in order to succeed in debt recovery. If you go outside the details and regulations of the Consumer Protection Council, it becomes a problem, an impediment on your way to successfully recover the debt that is being owed to you. Okay, now we will now take a look at the step-by-step process involved in debt recovery. That's debt recovery procedure in Nigeria. Okay, money is being owed to you by your debtors. What are those steps that you have to take in order to succeed in recovering your debt? Okay, here is a practical process adopted for Nigeria. The very first thing that you have to do is you identify the debtor and also confirm the debt documentation like invoices or loan agreement, because that will establish the fact that, okay, indeed someone is being owed something that he or she needs to recover. Then secondly, the next step that you have to take is to send a formal demand letter, properly addressed and recorded via a registered via a registrar. That's you must use a registrar in order to serve the demand letter, so that they will now depose to an affidavit or service of the demand letter and then file it in case the matter goes to court. So it's very important that you take this first step in the process of recovery, because if you don't take this step and you rush to court, it's seems as if you have not exhausted all avenue of mutual negotiation and settlement of the issue at hand before you now come to court. So it's best for you to serve a demand letter through a registrar, so that it will be on record that you have done the right thing. So if possible, you negotiate payment plans, and you can also restructure the debt so that it will be easier for your debtor to pay. It's possible that the payment, maybe they are experiencing some challenges in terms of finance. If you can be able to give them an easier payment plan, or restructure the debt in such a way that can accommodate their financial situation at that particular time, it will help in order for you to recover your debt. And on the other hand, you have done everything possible to make sure that the debt is paid. You have restructured, you negotiated, and the debtor is still not coming forth with the terms that you have agreed with him or her. It's best for you now to initiate a litigation in a Nigerian court. And once that is done, you have filed all your originating processes and you have presented your case before the court, and in most situations through the undefended list, and judgment has been entered in your favor, then it will now be for you to enforce it in order to recover what is really due to you. And you can do that through bank garnishment, registering charges on land title if a landed property was used as a collateral in order to secure such a loan. And also, you can also sell the debt to a collection agency at a reduced cost, so that you can be able to get your money back, and then the collection agency will now go after the debtor in order to collect the loan. Okay, we'll now take a more critical look at a demand letter, which is a prerequisite in order for you to succeed in debt recovery in Nigeria, and also negotiation, which goes a long way in order to ensure that all issues that the debtor is passing through is critically looked at, so that there will now be a restructuring of the debt. You are taking a look at it from the Nigerian context, which is the jurisdiction within which every one of us listening to it, maybe you might be a foreigner, but we are now restricting it to Nigeria. When negotiation fails in Nigeria, the next step is litigation. That's depending on the amount, you can file your originating process either at the High Court or the Magistrate Court. And you must plead the debt amount, which is very important. You cannot file a matter in court without exactly stating the amount that is being owed to you. And Very importantly, you must attach relevant documents. Those are the documents that will help in order to establish your case before the court, and also you have to serve the debtor so that the debtor will have the knowledge of the pending suit in court against him or her with regards to the debt that has been extended to the debt situation that exists between the debtor and the creditor. And once the judgment is granted, it becomes the legal basis for enforcement, because without a judgment, you cannot legally seize bank funds or property. You must wait until judgment is passed before you can be able to take possession of funds in the bank account of the debtor, or you can, before you register the property of the debtor in your name at the various land registry. And also you have to ensure you file the correct process at the correct state jurisdiction, so that the court will be seized of the jurisdiction in order to entertain the matter. And factor in court fees and legal representation costs if you want a legal practitioner to stand in for you in order to do the matter on your behalf. Okay, we are now taking a look at enforcement methods and recovery tools in Nigeria. After judgment in Nigeria, enforcement includes several methods, and you may obtain an order for bank garnishment in order to have access to funds in the debtor's bank account. That is, you directing the bank to freeze the debtor's account, and that will be an order of the court, not from you. And also, you can also register land registration. That's another way of recovering your fund, is registration of the land charge at the land registrar, which now gives legal claim over the debtor's property. If, just like I explained earlier, there is a possibility that we are dealing with a secured debt, and the debtor must have used a land as a collateral in order to secure the loan. And if the debtor defaults and you have secured the judgment from court, it now beckons on you, the creditor, to now register the property in your name so that it becomes yours. You might decide to sell it to recover the debt, or keep it so that it will appreciate and you will continue to gain profit from it. The court may also approve a seizure and the sale of movable assets such as vehicles and equipment, which is also a means in order for you to recover your debt. Another route is to sell the debt to a licensed collection firm in Nigeria, and this provides immediate cash and shift the management responsibility to the collection firm. But in this situation, you must know that the amount that is being owed to you might not be the exact that will be paid to you, because they will have to employ different legal means in order to recover the debt. So you might just be given a portion of what is being owed to you, maybe because of cash flow issues. You need money to do your business. You forfeit some of the amount owed to you in order for you to have cash in a bank account to continue doing your business. So each method has its own procedure and cost implications. So it's now left to you in order for you to critically take a look at each of the enforcement and recovery tools in Nigeria to know exactly which avenue that you have to exploit in order to recover a debt owed to you by the debtor. Okay, let's now take a look at the best practices and strategic tips for Nigeria that you have to employ in order to succeed in recovering debt being owed to you. To maximize a recovery in Nigeria, you have to follow these best practices. First and foremost, you have to keep accurate debt details such as names, addresses, bank verification number, national identity number of the debtor. Because with all these, it will now be easier for you to employ some of those recovery tools that I would just mention. Even when you are serving demand notices, you have to ensure that the right name and address is captured before the registrar or any courier company can do the delivery on your behalf, so that you will be serving the right person so as to give the court the jurisdiction in order to entertain the matter. And the sooner you act after the due date is very important, the better for your chance of recovery, because if you waste a time, it might become difficult for you to put together all documentations that will enable you in order to recover the debt. And also, you have to employ technology such as SMS reminders, CRM tracking, digital correspondence, in order to make sure that you are in constant touch with the debtor, so that there won't be any time the debtor will deny that, okay, I've not been reminded of the debt, or one denial or the other. This helps you in order to build your case in case the matter goes to court. Also, you have to understand regional differences in enforcement rules, because for instance, what applies in Lagos might be different from what's applicable in the FCT or any other state. So you have to tailor your strategy accordingly, so that you might get the result that you desire. Okay, there are some common pitfalls and risk management that you have to employ in your process of debt recovery. Several mistakes hinder recovery in Nigeria, and the very key of the most important aspect of it that you have to take cognizance of is you have to ensure that you are submitting the complete documents. All your documents must be signed, and every information that you are collecting in the process of extending the loan are intact, so that when you are tendering it in court, you will not be tendering maybe unsigned contracts or missing BVNs. Those are very key information that the court might work with, or even an arbitrator will work with in the process of ensuring that you succeed in your debt recovery. And also, failing to respect consumer protection laws for individual loan is also a very big factor that most loan companies don't adhere to. Some of them go as much as publishing the burial or that the debtor is dead or must have committed a serious offense, or using some defamatory or slanderous means, trying to coerce the debtor in paying the loan. Such is against consumer protection laws, and if the debtor should take it up against the creditor, it becomes a very big problem in the process of the creditor trying to recover the debt. And also, choosing the wrong court or ignoring enforcement court versus recovery amount is also very important, that you know exactly what you want and how to go about it, which court that you have to approach in order to recover, and also looking at the recoverable amount against the enforcement cost. Is it wise for me to spend this amount in order to recover the debt? Those are some of the factors that you must take a look at in order for you to succeed in your debt recovery. Sometimes the time and money spent in recovery exceeds the debt. This is just what I've just mentioned. you have to, be wise in your approach. Look exactly at the costs that you are going to expend in the process of the debt recovery as against the debt itself, and check, is it a wise choice for me to proceed with these, or should I just look for an alternative means in order to recover the debt? And also, risk management means assessing the debtor's ability to pay, and also estimating enforcement costs, and avoiding chasing a very small debt where loss may exceed potential recoveries. These are some of the risk management that you have to put in place in order to make sure that the debt that you are going to recover does not exceed the cost that you are going to use, because it will now be a situation of chasing after a goat and then in the process losing a cow. So it's very important that you make sure that you do your homework and make sure that you don't spend so much money chasing after a meager amount. Okay, in summary, debt recovery in Nigeria depends on understanding the specific type of debt. Is it a supplier credit? Is it a loan? Is it rent or personal debt? So you will know exactly what to do, the correct process, the correct step in order to apply in order to recover the debt. And first and foremost, you must issue a demand letter. You must demand that your debt be paid. That is the first step. And then you can also negotiate the debt. If the debtor is going through some financial challenges, you can restructure it in order to accommodate such challenges. But the most important thing is that you recover your debt. If possible, you can litigate if necessary, and then ensure judgment is delivered in your favor so that you can be able to recover your debt. And also acting early and making sure all your documentations are intact, and also using the right procedure and also approaching the right court is also very important to improve your chances of success. And also, the tools are available, but you must use them properly to protect your business and improve your cash flow, which is the reason why you are in business. Okay, thank you for following this lecture on debt recovery in Nigeria. If you have specific questions, such as how to draft your demand letter, how to choose between enforcement tools, and how to estimate cost versus recoveries, please drop them in the comment section of this video. Alternatively, you can send your question to our WhatsApp line that is before you on the screen, and I promise to personally respond to all your questions and also help you with strategies that you can effectively employ in order to recover whatever debt that is being owed to you. And for personalized consultation, for the guidance and additional resources on debt recovery, types of debt and procedure for recovery in Nigeria, you can visit our website to access detailed guides, case studies, and expert insights designed to keep you informed of the latest regulatory updates and best practices. I also invite you to partner with us to leverage our deep industry knowledge and take the next step towards successfully recovering whatever debt that is being owed to you in Nigeria. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to download this presentation for your future reference, and you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel for more valuable content such as this one. Thank you very much.